Hello, Aliena. Hello, Elizabeth. Welcome to my channel. It's my pleasure to be here. So, Aliena, you have 41, almost 42K subscribers on YouTube now. How does it make you feel? Feel good. Okay. Are you ready for your first Q&A interview? You always ask hard questions, so I'm not sure. The questions are from your subscribers. Okay, then I think I'll be fine. All right, here's your first question. Are all of your clothes red? So, let me show you guys. Red shirt, red pants, and red socks. Okay? So, here's the thing. A lot of my audience think red is my free personal branding. It's actually not the case. I chose to wear red every single day in 2022. And that was my only goal of the year, which is to wear red every single day. I did that because my mom asked me to do it for this Chinese traditional thing where if you are born in the year of a tiger, you wear red the entire year during the year of tiger. And it's for avoiding bad luck. And in 2021, I was having a huge period of time where I felt like I'm just not lucky enough. A lot of bad things happened, including unemployment. So I was thinking, well, I'll do anything to get luck for 2022. So yeah, I was wearing red every single day. By the way, it saved me a lot of money because this is definitely going clothing minimal. And plus, it's free personal branding. I'm not thinking about doing the same for 2023 though. What motivated you to create your YouTube channel? Ooh, I always liked making video. I started making video when I was 13 years old. So cliche. Yeah, but it just never took off. I was making video while I was studying everywhere because I went to a college program where I traveled the world where I study. So I literally lived in around 8 countries during my undergraduate degree. And I thought that would be a great time to just vlog myself studying in countries like India, Argentina. And I did it, but it just never took off. So until I graduated with my computer science and business degree, I took this Google UX certificate course because I realized that I am so much better at doing design work than coding. So I decided to transfer into UX. I took this course and made a course review, and that course review just took off. And that's how I gained more motivation of making this channel a legit thing, like part of my personal business. What is the most challenging thing about working at eBay? So here's the funny thing. Before I entered eBay, I've never worked at a large company before. So I was always doing freelance work or contractor works where I was pretty much the only designer in a small startup. And I was always the one who take a product from 0 to 1 instead of designing something on top of a product that's already pretty mature. So when I entered eBay, I was pretty shocked that there's actually not so much of UI design work because there's a complete set of design system where I can copy elements from. So the hardest part becoming the communication part. How do I get stakeholder alignments on this design decision? And is it aligned with our business strategy? And can front-end engineers actually code out this work in the time constraint? So communication was the hardest part. If you did not be a UX UI designer, what would you be? If I'm not a UI UX designer, actually, I will say my title is more like a product designer these days. I've mentioned in some of my videos saying that UI UX designer or UX designer or UI designer is not a great title to have if you want to have more control over your product. And if I'm not designing anything, I think the thing I'll be doing is building my own company. I learned last year that at the end of the day, we are all businesswomen and businessmen. So, it's just gotta figure out a way to do personal branding and make money and have a sustainable lifestyle. So I guess I'll just build my own company. Just like what you did, Elizabeth. Yep, I do have my brand. What is the biggest challenge in your career? I will say that one of my biggest challenge is I'm a generalist and I'm not very focused in one area. So I have interest in so many things like building this YouTube channel, traveling, and on top of that, I like design and I'm also interested in business. However, I want to use this as my strength instead of considering this as my weakness. What country are you working from? My work is remote, but I'm mostly based in the United States. Today, I'm in Mexico City in this beautiful Airbnb because my family is visiting, we are having a family trip. What are your future goals? Future goals? I would love to build more products with like cutting edge technologies. Okay. Maybe not just Web 3.0 related, but even something like brain computer interface related. And plus, I would love to help my subscribers connect to each other. That is one of my biggest goals in 2023. Not helping them to connect with me, but helping them to connect with each other because I think they are very bright people, and then being friends with each other will definitely help them significantly with their careers. So yeah, if anyone's watching this video, let us know about your LinkedIn in the description below and people here can connect with each other. This subscriber asked, how's your day at eBay? So when I posted this Ask Me Anything question on Instagram and YouTube, I was on my company on-site event at eBay in San Jose, and it actually went really well. I learned so much about how to create and participate in a very efficient design workshop. There were a lot of workshops, and I met my team in person. Believe it or not, I think there's always some magic in meeting people in person, as long as working in the office is not a must. Like everyone wants the option to either work from home or work from the office. No one wants like having to work at the office every day. Another subscriber asked, can you be my mentor, please? I cannot because I have 40,000 subscribers right now. If I become everyone's mentor, I will be mentally drained and it's physically impossible as well. However, I will keep creating videos that help people. Usually I think about the person or the persona that I create video for. It's myself, but from 5 years ago. So I usually create content if I think it will be helpful for myself from 5 years ago, and that usually will end up helping a lot of other people. But at the same time, I think my subscribers should definitely connect with each other. That could be even more helpful than connecting with me. Yeah, so do that. This person says, I just decided to pursue UXUI as a career after taking one course. No experience at all. Suggestions? I heard so many times when people say they don't have experience. But there are like different ways of having no experience. So I know a lot of people have personal project experience, and that still counts as experience. And then there are the ones who haven't created any project on their own. Usually, if you take a certificate courses, it's going to take you through a few projects. Like if you take the Google UX course, it will take you through 3 projects. So by the end of the course, you should have 3 projects ready on your hand. It's just that it's probably going to be personal project. So for those of you who don't have experience, not even personal project, then definitely go ahead and try to create something that interests you. Make it a personal project. Just work on your own, manage yourself, manage the project by yourself. If what you're looking for is real world project, then what I suggest you to do is to read the book, Never Eat Alone, because it's very difficult for most of the people who want to transfer into product design or UI UX designer right now, to find real-world project if you don't have experience from before. And the only way to do so is through networking, personal connections. And the book Never Eat Alone really helped me totally change my mindset on networking. Because I used to feel like, well, if it's during the pandemic and if I don't have a lot of friends, if I'm like an introverted person, by the way, yeah, I'm an introverted person, then it would be impossible for me to network. And that's completely incorrect. What's your goals in 2023? Help my subscribers connect to each other. Another goal that would be great if it happens is to obtain my US EB1 visa. I'm working on it. I haven't started applying for it because it requires extraordinary ability, something like that. And yeah, it's a complicated process, but I want to go with the US EB1 visa. If you know anyone that can help, that'd be great. What's your hobbies? Hobbies. I like making YouTube videos for sure, but these days it's turning into a business instead of a hobby, although I still love it. Other hobbies include, I really like improvisation dance. Funny fact, I actually started off my YouTube journey as a dance channel. So I have a dance channel, and that's my first YouTube channel. It didn't really take off, but it was fun. Although now I look at it, I feel like, it's a little bit embarrassing. Yeah. What is the hardest part about having a UX UI job? I think the hardest part of a UI UX job is that if you still have UI UX designer as your title, then you probably will feel like at the end of the day, you don't have a lot of power over making key decision in the company. So your startup founder might already have a product in mind, or your PM already designed a lot of product solutions for you, and you don't have a lot of say on, is this the right big direction to go with this product? You only have decision-making power on the smaller things, like, well, what is the color of this button? Is this going to be a primary button or a secondary button? Things like those. For me, I find it challenging because I also like making higher level decision in a company. So if I only do UI work, it's going to drain me a lot. It's still fun though, because at the end of the day, you'll just see the interface. They don't know who's like making the decisions. They just see the product through the interface. Yeah, still a great job to have. Do you have a favorite coffee place in Seattle? I don't know. You tell me. Comment below if you know like any great coffee shop. It doesn't have to be from Seattle. It can be from anywhere. And I will try to fly there and try out the coffee. Oh, I cannot try the coffee because I am not good at caffeine. But I can try out the croissant or the tea if possible. What is the favorite part of your job? Working on high impact product. I work for eBay advertising, and it is a very important part of the business because it helps eBay to make money. So whatever I design, it's going to influence a lot of sellers on eBay and also influence our business. And it feels good to design for something that is going to have a high impact in the world. Is it harder now to get into UI UX job than it was before? If you want to become a UI UX designer, I will tell you no. We all know it's really not a yes or no question. It depends on a lot of things. But I think it's much healthier and easier if you think it's easy to get a UI UX design job. Because when you fool your mind thinking something is easy, it's way easier to take the action to get started and attract positive energy from the universe to actually make it come true. So I will challenge my viewers to think whatever you want to achieve is not that difficult as long as you put in the work. Where are you from? I'm from Beijing, China. I lived in China for 15 years, And then I moved to Canada, and then I moved to a college. Not moved to a college. I attended a college that was quite crazy. It took me all over the world. And then I relocated in the United States. And I'm still here in the United States. But right now, literally, I'm in Mexico City, Mexico, for a family trip again. This person asks, how's your day? My day was okay. Yeah, it could be better, but I cannot complain. Oh, here's an interesting question. Do you think UX roles will still be in existence in 5 to 10 years? UI UX roles in 50 years. Maybe it would be called product designer more often, given that we might not have interface in 50 years. I will give you some example. Let's say if you are using like a VR glasses or a AR glasses, then whatever you are seeing is technically not an interface, but rather like a augmented reality, so floating in the space. Although I still feel like you are going to design a lot of screens or interactions as if you are designing a user interface in the mobile. It's just going to be like bigger button or different interactions. Because right now we can like tab, we can scroll, but imagine like a 3D world. You can literally grab, you can throw, you can hit, right? You can wipe, you can punch. There's a lot of interaction you can do. And plus you can blink because you not only have your hand to interact with stuff, you have your entire body and your mind. One technology that I actually dig a little bit into was brain-computer interface technology. So Elon Musk, again, this guy, started this company called Neuralink, right? And they are already able to insert computer chips into monkey's brain and then read off the thought from the monkey simply through that chip. So the monkey can control a device just through thinking about it instead of like touching it. Imagine that being used to human beings. Let's imagine this being used in a good way. Then what eventually can happen is that we don't even need to touch or even do anything in the air. We just think, and then the devices will do work for us. There's a lot of work that is needed to be done ethically, technically, and design-wise for this technology for sure. And I really hope for technology that's this cutting edge, there's more people working in the design field to get into this industry early on so that things are designed for accessibility, things are designed for ethically correct in the beginning instead of, things going wrong and then we try to fix it later. Ooh, that'd be horrible for a technology like brain-computer interface. What have you studied in college and why have you decided to transition into UX/UI design? I studied computer science and business when I was in college. And after 4 years of studying computer science, I've learned that I cannot code. It was a great lesson. It took me 4 years to learn it, but it was an awesome lesson. Because it made me realize that I shall do things that I am good at. I shouldn't be spending the rest of my life doing a thing that I'm not good at. And I understood that I am good at design. For all the computer science projects I had in college, I was always trying to do the front-end work or design of the interface, those kind of work, because I like it and I'm good at it. And then when I was almost graduating, I was like, if I want to become a product or UI UX designer, I'd rather make the decision now and then transfer it now. It's okay to have a difficult year right after graduation, but it's not okay to have a difficult life. I don't want to have a difficult rest of my life. And that's exactly what I did. It took me almost a year to transfer into UI UX design, but it was absolutely worth it. And after 4 years of studying business, I learned that you have to do business in order to learn business. I took away one keyword though, which is product market fit. And I think the word product market fit will stay with me forever and ever, because that's eventually the only thing you need to do in order to build any great product or any great YouTube channel. Yeah. All right, Aliena, we have the final question of the day. How can I use a degree in psychology for UX design? Psychology, that's a hard one because I didn't have a degree in psychology, but I have a lot of subscribers and a lot of friends who study psychology and now want to become a UX designer. So I definitely see this trend coming. My question to you is whether you think psychology is really your unfair advantage. I'm asking that because in my case, I studied computer science and business, and it's definitely related to UX design. And for a while, I was trying to think, well, how can I use my knowledge in computer science and business to get a job in UX? And guess what? I didn't figure out how. All I figured out is I still need to do my portfolio right, do my resume right, and find and compete with other people with a better resume. But what happened later is that after I got the job in UIUX design, my knowledge in business and in computer science significantly helped me to communicate with engineers and PMs because I understand their point of view. But this didn't help me to get the job into UX, if you understand what I mean. What helped me to get into UX is my YouTube channel. So I realized that my media or my social presence was actually my unfair advantage, and my knowledge in computer science and business will be my unfair advantage, but only when I got the job, not before I got the job. And I want you to consider the same, because at the end of the day, we don't care what we use to get the job, right? We just need the job. So it could mean that something in psychology can help you maybe with UX research. But it could also mean that you might just need to, how do I say this? Kind of look over your degree a little bit and then just consider yourself as a competitor, or find another unfair advantage. You know what I mean? For me, it was YouTube. For you, it could be a different thing. Whatever you studied doesn't have to be your unfair advantage. Yeah, you don't have to use that to get a job. We are in a different age now. I think in this time of the year, tech companies, they don't care about degree as much as before, and nor as much as other fields. All right. I think you provided some decent answers. Thank you. Well, I really enjoyed it. We shall do this more often. Oh, you know what? We shall totally do this for our brand too, like the bamboo. For my company, why not you just go ahead and... Alright, ladies and gentlemen, if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and share it with your friends. I'm Aliena. I love you all.